Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I'm not here with Geeky Sparkles. She's out and about today, but we're going to talk about Tron Ares. And this is actually pretty surprising to me, despite all this chatter about how amazing this movie is and how it's selling out IMAX theaters and how these Tron and Jared Leto stands are supposedly going to see it 2, 3, 4 times in a day. Its opening day was worse than Morbius. Worse than Morbius. And that's not adjusted for inflation either. So we're going to talk about this. I'm actually a little bit surprised. I did not think this movie was going to do gangbusters, but I thought it would do better than this. I thought it would do better than freaking Morbius, but apparently not. So let's talk about it. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. Go out to news.clownfishtv.com. That's news.clownfishtv.com. Sign up to be notified because YouTube will not notify you of new videos. They're getting really bad at it. So if you go out to news.clownfishtv.com when we upload new videos, you'll get an email notification, and hopefully you'll find us over there. So thank you very much for the support. Yeah, Discussing Film had it. And again, I'm very surprised by this. Tron Ares earned $14.3 million in the film's domestic opening day, lower than Morbius. Morbius apparently opened in 2022 to 17.1 million opening day. It had 5.7 million from Thursday previews, and it made 39 million opening weekend. We know Tron Ares did 4.8 million on Thursday, and they're still trying to say that this movie is going to make $50 million domestic this weekend. I mean, they had articles like this, puff pieces like this. Tron Ares box office previews and projections are outpacing Legacy. Yeah, Legacy came out in 2010. Was it 2010 or 2011? It came out a while ago, right? There's this thing called inflation. Plus, Legacy also had the advantage, I think, of 3D back then was a huge deal. And I know we went to go see it in 3D, and we walked out of the theater and we were like running into stuff because everything was black with like LED lights. And it was just it was a very weird movie to watch in 3D. But I enjoyed Legacy a lot better than Ares. I'm just saying. But this is not a good sign. It's not going to do that well. And I'm wondering if we're going to ever see a Tron 4. Because it does feel like, spoiler, it does feel like this movie is setting up a fourth Tron where they finally bring the Legacy team together and the Ares team together. And hopefully by the time they get around to making it, Jeff Bridges and Bruce Boxleitner are still with us. And they can just do one big Tron send-off, call it like Tron End of Line or something, and do a big send-off for Tron. That would be great. I don't know if it's going to happen, though. I think Disney's trying to jumpstart this franchise because they see the writing on the wall with Star Wars and with Marvel, and it's not going very well for them. So this comes from Variety. Box office Tron Ares hits the grid with 14.3 million opening day. Channing Tatum's Roofman raises 3.2 million in second. I'm going to go see The Dark Crystal tomorrow night. I don't think it's going to make that much, but there we go. They said, yeah, Tron Ares will light up the top of the box office in its debut. Again, that's not good. It's making less than Morbius. It's coming in dimmer than its projections. This would explain why, and we did a video yesterday, there seems to be some hardcore astroturfing going on with Tron Legacy. You are not allowed to say anything negative about this movie because I think Disney is freaking the hell out. That supposedly this movie was like $250 million or something. Some ridiculous amount of money. I don't know. But yeah, the Tron threequel earned $14.3 million across Friday and previews from 4,000 screens, 4,000 venues. That includes early access screenings on Wednesday ahead of the wider traditional Thursday rollout. Pre-weekend tracking had forecast to debut north of 45 million, a range that's now likely well out of reach. They were saying 50. Here's the thing. All these numbers, these projections get memory hold as soon as the movie comes out and it becomes a huge failure. That was like The Flash, right? The Flash, when it came out, they were talking $75 to $100 million opening weekend. It was going to be a massive, massive hit because of Michael Keaton's Batman, who was barely in it. And it turned out to be a huge, huge flop. And when they said this thing was going to do 45 to 55 million dollars or whatever the insane projection was, I'm like, there's no way in hell. People are less interested in Tron now than they were 15 years ago. And they sure as hell are not interested in Tron with Jared Leto. Now, that being said, we gave it a fair review. It was an okay movie. It wasn't a terrible movie. I can't say it was a terrible movie, but realistically, Tron has never been, an evergreen franchise. I know there are a lot of hardcore Tron fans out there. I like Tron. I love Tron. I have maybe nostalgia goggles on for it because, I tie Tron to my early memories of watching Disney Channel and that whole period of my life. And I remember Tron being projected inside the People Mover at Disneyland. We used to go to Disneyland all the time. So I think it gets kind of conflated. My friends had Tron action figures, which I thought was weird because I'm like, they had Tron action figures, but my friends actually had them in the light cycle and the whole thing. We used to play with them with the Star Wars and the G.I. Joe guys. And, but the movie itself was kind of boring. I mean, I'm going to be honest, the original Tron, as much as I like the aesthetic of it, it felt like a 2-hour tech demo. And, it's slow. I watched it again in February. I was sick and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to watch Tron. I haven't watched Tron in a number of years. I'm going to watch it. And I'm like, wow, this movie is like really slow compared to what I remember. Like you always see the best bits, right? You see the light cycle chases and the whatever. You don't get the really slow kind of pan across the digital landscape because back then it was, a huge deal to do it. But it was for its time, it was groundbreaking. It really was a groundbreaking movie, but the original Tron was not a huge box office success either, right? The video games were popular. Tron merchandise is kind of popular in Disney parks, I guess. And people like the aesthetic of it, but yeah, Tron itself, it wasn't very popular. Legacy wasn't very popular, and Legacy I loved. I mean, Geeky, I know she did not like Tron Legacy. I freaking love Tron Legacy, and I like Tron Uprising. I thought that was a really good show. But I know it's kind of niche, and it's amazing. I'm gonna be honest; it is amazing that we got a third Tron at all, given the kind of the hit or miss nature of the franchise. But I think you can thank the light cycle roller coaster for that. I think Disney's like, oh, we have to kind of jumpstart the Tron franchise because we have a roller coaster we spent millions and millions of dollars on and took freaking 7 years to build. Anyway, I never in a million years thought it was going to hit 50 million. I don't think anybody, well, no, there are some people that thought it was going to do better than that, but there's no way in hell. We went to go see it the very first showing at the same theater. We went to go see Superman Fantastic Four. There was nobody else in the theater. It was just me and Geeky. And even Superman Fantastic Four, even though it was like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, those theaters were probably 50 to 75% full. So, and that for those two movies, but not for Tron. It says pacing behind prior series entry Tron Legacy, which nabbed a $17.5 million opening day in 2010. On its way to a $44 million first frame, reviews have been mediocre for Ares, while audiences were slightly more positive. CinemaScore pulled a B+ grade among moviegoers. Why the hell do we not have Tron in a Tron movie is why I want to know. 2 Tron movies now. We have not gotten any Tron. Right? They were setting it up, I think, in Tron Legacy to have Tron make a big comeback in Tron 3, and that did not happen. But at least we got Tron in flashbacks. At least we knew Tron was kind of there as Rinsler, right? We knew he was kind of there. He's not even, is he even mentioned in, he's mentioned once or twice, now I think about it, in Ares, but we don't get Tron. Bruce Boxleitner was not even asked to come back. And I'm like, if you guys are going to do a 4th movie, not to be morbid, but you better freaking hurry up because Jeff Bridges looked rough in his last movie and Bruce Boxleitner is not getting any younger either. You guys might have to look into buying their AI likenesses if you're going to do more Tron movies. I'm just saying. So it's a slow start for Disney, which spent $180 million. I thought it was more than that. I thought it was like 250, but I mean, most of it takes place in the real world. So, pegged as one of the few big budget IP plays to release between the summer and Thanksgiving. Ares is banking on international audiences to hit a profit in theaters. Tron has always been something between retro, cult, object, and commercial force. The original was only the 22nd biggest North American release of 82. There were a lot of good movies in 82, though. 82 was a banner year for movies. There's so many amazing movies that came out. So yeah, we had E.T. and yeah, so for Tron to come in 20 seconds, not terrible. It's not great, but Legacy hit 400 million globally against a $170 million budget. And that was back then. So technically this movie cost less when you adjust it for inflation. And I'm going to be honest, it was cool, but it looked like it cost a lot less than Legacy. Like Legacy, I went back and watched some clips after watching Ares. I'm like, am I misremembering this? And I went back and watched clips. I'm like, God, this movie looks so good for its age. The only thing that threw me was Jeff Bridges, de-aging Jeff Bridges. Like I feel like they could go back and redo that now, and it would be so much better, because I think that was the first time Disney used the de-aging technology, and he looked like a video game character. I mean, it works for Clue because he's a program, but it doesn't really work for Flynn. They probably could go back and fix that, though. But yeah, they're not going to throw any more money at this thing. Franchise newcomers Jared Leto, Greta Lee, and Evan Peters lead Tron Ares, with the series original star Jeff Bridges returning as Kevin Flynn for about 30 seconds. The director of Pirates of the Caribbean 5, is it Joaquin Roning, directed it. He also did the Maleficent sequel and the Daisy Ridley drama Young Woman in the Sea. So I guess considering his credentials, this one's not terrible. Actually, Pirates of the Caribbean 5 wasn't terrible. I think it was a lot more enjoyable than the fourth one. We went to go see that in theater too, but there were some things in that movie that did not make any freaking sense whatsoever. Like they broke the curse of Davy Jones in the third movie, but the curse is still in full effect in the fifth movie. Like, I don't understand how that worked. Disney marketing has emphasized the original score by Nine Inch Nails, which was amazing. Not as good as Daft Punk's, but it was pretty good. And again, this is a movie that if you're going to go see it, you need to go see it in the big screen, do it before they yank it out of theaters. Cause I don't think this movie is going to be remotely as impressive at home. You really need that bass and the bigness of it all, right? Go see it in IMAX or something. I can't believe I'm not a shill. I'm just saying, if you're bound and determined to go see this movie, go see it on the big screen, because it's going to be significantly less enjoyable at home. Roofman's coming in on the lower side of tracking, earning only $3.25 million across Friday in previews from 3,300 locations. What the hell is Roofman? I don't even know what that is. So it's not looking good. Here are the comments. Less than Morbius. Starting to think Disney purposely cast Jared Leto in this movie to kill the Tron franchise for good, but I can't prove it yet. What's your Oz review? I love this one. Tron Ares is so bad it makes you wish AI would hurry up and destroy Hollywood. The cycle repeats itself. Disney makes a new Tron movie with a full plot, but banger visuals and score, but flops, and they try reviving it 15 to 20 years later. See you guys in 2040. They should do Tron 4 in 2032. Cash in on the 50th anniversary. But like I said, you're going to have to hurry up, because I don't think Jeff Bridges, especially, not to be morbid, I don't think he's going to be around by then. Jared Leto, The Curse of Bad Movies. Let's make a terrible blank movie, Jared Leto. Yeah, I think He-Man's going to be terrible too. I thought everyone liked the scene where Jared Leto says Troning time and then harassed a bunch of women. I'm starting to think Jared Leto isn't a big draw. No, he's not. And he's going to suck his Skeletor too. I'm sorry. Jared Leto was the big reason why Tron Ares got made. But damn, he's literally box office kryptonite. Yeah. I mean, it didn't do well. Wonder what the reason could be. 9 women accused Jared Leto of sexual impropriety. I don't think that really had much to do with it. I don't think the general public is super aware of everything that's going on with Jared Leto. Just the Tron franchise, I'm going to be honest, and this is a guy who likes Tron overall, it's not relevant, right? It doesn't make sense. It makes about as much sense as let's do a new Buck Rogers movie or something, and it's a follow-up to the 80s show or something. You know what I'm saying? Let's do a, well, I guess they're going to reboot Battlestar Galactica. Let's do a Battlestar Galactica movie that's a sequel to the sci-fi series. You know what pisses me off about that too is Caprica. I like Caprica. I like Caprica. And then they totally cut the whole thing. Like we were building up to something. And then we're just like, you know what? Let's just give you the whole second season, like a 30-second montage. That was very disappointing. Anyway, yeah, I think it's going to be a long time until we get more Tron. Maybe we'll get another cartoon show out of it on Disney Plus or something. This guy says Morbius opened with 39 million. So if Ares winds up in the low to mid 30s, it's going to be a massive bomb. I told my wife going into it, my gut, this is just a prediction, my gut is 32 to 35. I said there's no way it's going to hit 50. I don't think it's going to be like a Snow White level disaster, but I feel comfortable saying it's going to do 32 to 35, and that's not enough for a movie like this. It just isn't. Morpheus called. He wants his box office back. Leto can't catch a break. Might as well go back to playing villain so people buy tickets just to hate on him. Yeah, Skeletor. 14.3 million opening day, and people still hyped it like it's Avatar 2. Yeah, I think it's Morbin time. Avatar 3 is gonna make a shit ton of money. I'm calling it now. I'm not even gonna pretend like it's not. It's gonna make a shit ton of money. The second one did. I was surprised it did. It kind of got off to a slow start. Avatar 3 is gonna make a ton of money. Zootopia 2 is gonna make a ton of money. So Disney will make money. They're just not gonna make money on Tron, which means how long until they reskin the light cycle at roller coaster? We'll just turn it into an Avatar coaster. We'll turn it into a Zootopia coaster or something. I don't know. Anyway, we're gonna wrap it up, guys. Please subscribe. We'll talk later. For more pop culture news, views, and rants, go to news.clownfishtv.com. That's news.clownfishtv.com.